You can find a list of available ISPs within a specific country for geo-targeting by using the Proxyrack API. So there's this API endpoint that you can see right here, api.proxyrack.net/v1-beta/countries/ the two-letter country code of the country you are getting this information for, /ISPs. So when you make a request to this URL, you need to substitute this for a two-letter country code. So that could be, like for the USA, it would be US. For the UK, it would actually be GB. For Mexico, it would be MX. Whatever country that you're interested in finding the list of available ISPs, you would substitute that here. In our guide on our help website, you can find a full list of all of the country codes by clicking on this link here. So when you make a request to this API endpoint, you need to be connected to your proxies. This is very important because if you're not connected to your proxies when you make this request, nothing will happen. So you can make this request in code, you can do it in your browser, you can do it through an application or a program. Wherever you've configured your proxies, this will work. So we have this API endpoint. We also have another flag that we can add to the URL. So $include count equals true. So this will return the list of ISPs as well as how many IPs are available with each ISP. So that can be helpful to know when you're geo-targeting as well. So I'm going to show you an example of this using curl. So curl can be run through the terminal on a Mac, which is what I'm going to show you, or the command prompt on Windows. For Windows users, note that curl is not installed by default, so you'll need to install that yourself before doing this. Also note that curl is not required for this. You can do this wherever you've configured your proxies. It does not have to be curl. It can, again, be in code, it can be in a browser. Anywhere where you can make a request to a URL, you can make a request to this API endpoint and it will return the information you need. So we can see this in action. We can see that I'm making this request through the proxies when I'm connected to the proxies. You can see my username and password here for authentication, and then you can see the URL. So here I'm looking for ISPs within the US. And so when I make this request, you'll see that the API returns all of the available ISPs. Now, if I wanted the count for each of those, I would say $include count equals true. And I will put this in quotation marks for the request to work correctly. Then when I make that request, you'll see that a little more information is returned. We get this proxy count and then the number of proxies that are available with each ISP. So this is very helpful for knowing how many are available in with each ISP when you're geo-targeting. Note that the ISPs available and the number of IPs available within a specific ISP will change throughout the day as IPs come on and offline. So you may have times when some ISPs are available and then others where that ISP is not available any longer because an IP or multiple IPs have gone offline.